Florence loading in on the ARP. First Hillbilly game of this tournament, if I'm not mistaken, and we're seeing our overpowered blue Hillbilly. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some of Florence's gameplay here, who will be playing the killer for CatJAM. So I'm very excited to see what he can do now. We don't have low pros on currently, and we will be chasing Nosy for our first chase of the game as we go for a saw cancel there. Looks like we're going to try and get a mind game around Shaq, but we're going to opt to leave straight away. We don't want to waste our time with Nosy, and it's a good thing we did because we find M in a very compromising position, who will be taking an M1 as we see Nosy opt to leave this 6 out of the map, and M is just going to insta-drop this Shaq here. We're going to try and bamboozle that, but not going to work in our favor as we're just going to break Shaq and possibly, yeah, looks like we're going to try and follow M here and see if we can get the quick down.
Yeah, so we see, Florence still committed to M, going for a boozle vault. Doesn't look like she has a whole lot. We have no, that's a bit of a greed. No low pro chains on the Hillbilly anymore. So obviously, a lot of the time you might have to break the pallets, and that's what Florence is going to do. The window still bamboozled, so M does not have a whole lot left to work with. Going to bamboozle it again just to be safe, as that was about to run out. And M is just running around in circles, wasting as much time as she possibly can. No edge map pallet there. That would have been a lifesaver for her. That's going to be the down now in the corner of the map. And I just want to talk about Florence has been playing pretty consistently well so far this tournament, picking up a lot of kills for his team, which is great to see. And honestly, I have high hopes for how he'll perform throughout these games. Although he is playing, assuming he's playing a few of the killers. I don't know about the other 2 sets, but it seems like that's going to be quite a big variety considering he's been playing Blight the other day and Spirit. So I hope he's able to handle having such a big, pool of kills to himself. But yeah, see how it plays out.
Yeah, you actually saw Florence's games yesterday. He did play quite a few killers, and he held up really well. I do, as you said, he did play a Black game. I do believe if I look at the sets from yesterday, it doesn't matter because he's about to go down and chase. We see the Bamboozle as the 2nd gen of the trial. Procs in the background. Looks like we're going to get a pretty free drop here. Nice stun there by M, able to keep the chase alive for just a little bit longer. So it looks like we've retreated back to this pallet here. We've just circled around trying to keep the chase going. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be very, very difficult for Florence to get the down without dropping that pallet out of the game. And M is going to be heading a bit closer to the top side, see if we can find a few more resources that we can use, and we can. Is able to make this filler pallet. We're just going to instantly drop it. Don't want to deal with that edge map, and we actually find another one. M got a nice little rotation here, and he's able to make a fair bit of distance as well as we head towards middle, or as it used to be known, J1, and head back up towards the top side, see if we can keep the chase going.
Tell you what, get out of here, bro. Alright, so Florence is now committing around this 5 section of the map, no longer at J2. Going to be using his chainsaw on. Quite a good pallet for Billy, especially in power. This thing is insane. Does not hug it very tight, unfortunately. Still killing the Hunter, going to break the pallet. Hunter's just absolutely zoned. And of course, the charge up speed as well as the movement speed while you're in overdrive is absolutely wild, but Hunter still makes a pallet. I think Florence could have got that if he charged up straight away, but he waited a little bit. Now it seems like Hunter might make the drop, but he greased the pallet. Actually wild of this man to do that, but it works. So what can I say? He's going to break the pallet now. Hunter making his way to the shack. Florence has overcommitted, and this chase has lasted way too long. Still hasn't used any of his pain res hooks, and he's in quite a rough position where we see the survivors from Copium have been pressuring a lot of the gens, chasing just Nosy, 1 gen popping in the distance. This is a fresh hook right here, and a lot of the pallets have been used, but Nosy's still juicing, because this man's an absolute demon, doesn't need pallets to survive against a Hillbilly.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Nosy and Hunter there. Hunter, I love watching that chase. Being able to clutch up there a little bit, really well played. We do see the down coming in onto Nosy. As you said, this will be a fresh, so well played by Florence, being able to finally get that down. 3 gens of the trial have procced, and we do see some scratch marks here. So it looks like we will be able to make a trail on someone. We actually opt to go for the Scourge Hook instead, and it looks like just a little bit too late, as the 4th gen of the trial did proc in the background. So now we are left with a 3 gen up bottom side of the map as we head down through J2. So very interesting to see if we can hold on to this. It's probably going to be a difficult game for Florence. All 4 survivors. Oh, look at this as well. The middle gen is starting to pump away. It was about 50. We obviously got pot value, but this is going to be very, very difficult to hold on to unless we have a couple of survivors with really rough chases here.
Well, that being said, all the pallets have been used on this side of the map. I don't think there's a single one left, maybe one. But Florence still unable to control the Blue Billy, and this is kind of putting my fears into manifest right now, as I was worried that since Florence is playing so many killers, he wouldn't be able to have control of all of them. And we can see that I don't think he's quite mastered the overdrive with Billy just yet, as he's been curving out pretty wide, and he's been missing a few back revs and hitting a few objects. It is very, very difficult to control, don't get me wrong, as you have very high movement speed, and also the curve rate is lower since you're moving faster, so it's harder to curve loops tight. So it is a skill that needs to be mastered by all the hillbillies if they want to compete, even in this buffed state. But yeah, Survive is insta-saving. Once again, no resources left, so if he catches out the healthy person who saved Hunter, which is just Nosy, he could get himself another down and a fresh hook right now. Sorry, not a fresh hook, a scourge hook.
Here we see the chase continue onto Nosy here, who is back to being healed. Looks like we're just going to opt to drop this pallet straight away. Florence with the fake out there will be heading back down to the bottom side of the map. Sadly, it looks like you just need to stay down this side. Looks like we almost cut off M, almost got the down, but it might not be too far away. But she is just a little bit too close to J2 and is going to be getting away there. As we also find Yobro just a tiny bit out of position. We might be seeing the down come through here. Yes, we do. Yobro won't be able to make it to that pallet gym there and will be taking the down. So, well played by Florence, able to get another fresh hook, I believe, out of Yobro here. Just keeping the game alive, trying to get as much stages as you can before that 5th gen is able to pop.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's in a position where he can pretty comfortably get himself a 6-stage result, maybe even a 7-stage right now. Even better if he gets his quick downs, but that bump unfortunately wasn't it. I still don't think he would have gotten the down there, but it would have been very close. M now playing this TNL tile, barely misses with the speed being uncontrollable sometimes with that overdrive chainsaw. Florence is now going to flick towards the 5 section of the map, unfortunately hits an object, giving the survivor a lot of time to kind of reposition themselves. Florence now on the bottom side of the map trying to find a survivor, maybe working on Shaq, and we see right now pressure on 3 different gens, which I think is a big mistake from the survivors from Copium. One thing that I usually recommend teams do in a 3-gen is push 2 gens rather than 3 gens at a time. And you might argue it's hard to push that gen next to the hook, but I think you can have 2 people playing for the gen at 4 and 1 person playing for the save on, instead of starting this gen at Shaq. That's just never going to be completed anyway. But he's now getting the hook onto Justin Ozzy, which I believe is still a fresh hook, but I'm sorry, a scourge hook. But I'm not sure if this is actually a scourge hook right here. No, it looks like it's not. So he has to save that scourge hook on Nosy and use it potentially for the death.
He's been scourged.
Oh, he has.
Because remember how he went all that way towards top side to get the scourge? Yeah, so Nosy's the only survivor that's actually been scourge hooked, so probably the worst person to hook in this situation. But we do see the installing hook coming in onto Nosy. It looks like we're going to try and head back, see if we can cut someone off.
Ooh.
We do find Nosy. We're actually not going to... it looks like we really want the scourge hook here as we take the chase onto M. There should be a relatively quick down here, and it is... We are able to get a pretty quick down. Hopefully we can get some scourge hook value. This will keep us alive in the game and even might get us a few extra hook stages actually.
Yeah, no scourge hook here, like you said earlier. It seems like they're probably all on the top side of the map, which makes things very difficult for Florence, but Pop is still going to come hugely in value here. And yet, Florence is just getting his downs incredibly quick. We hear that little notification saying that the gen has been regressed, I believe, 4 times, so we've got another 4 to go. Florence expects it head-on, but doesn't anticipate it properly, doesn't wait it out for long enough, and Hunter gets a nice clean head-on, which allows him to make his way outside the bottom side of the map. I think he makes mid almost at this point. He actually does, just because that chainsaw miss there. Could make the L window, and he does. Florence can go for a little curve, but no, Hunter actually survived, so if he plays this safely, he shouldn't go down. Florence returning to the 5 section of the map, where we see triple! 3 survivors injured, all working the same gen. This is not the play. Copium, I don't think that was a necessary risk, to be honest, and now they're going to have Dobro hook right next to that gen, which is going to get a little bit of a smack, and a pop goes the Weasel. So this puts Copium in a much worse position, considering how dominant of a start they had. What do you think really went wrong here, Starzee, where we're seeing Florence get the upper hand of this match once again?
Well, it's pretty clear that with an extra 10 seconds or so, they would have been able to get that gen done. So, you know, it is a big gamble of it clearly ended up being a mistake and sadly cost the Survivors a little bit as we see Yobro on the hook. But it is really, really good for them that there are no Scourge hooks on this side of the map, because that would be truly, truly awful. But we see Yobro actually going to be taking me for Nosy. No, he doesn't hit either of them. Misses both Yobro and Nosy. Nosy will be taking the chase here towards J2. Is able to just dodge out that chainsaw, and it looks like we're just opting to actually take the chase, possibly giving the Survivors time to complete that background as Nosy takes the M1 with the side steps.
Alright, so teach me this. Which one's J2 and which one's J1? Oh my god, the snipe on Hunter! Not being able to touch that chainsaw. There's no way. The gen can't be regressed anymore though. This is a strange position.
Yeah, this is not good.
Oh, no.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Oh, now it can't, you think?
Okay, maybe it was one away. But regardless, J2 is the one at the bottom of mid, and J1's the one at the top. And then the mid it's just called mid. So, you know, yeah. But we see Nosy will be taking another chase, is healthy, but we are getting attacked by a chainsaw kill, so it might be very rough. We're actually able to lock a juke him by a little bit more time, but we'll be able to make this vault. We'll be taking
Nosy,
M1.
absolutely undownable right now. This guy going crazy on the David King. But we see Florence committing Yobro a death hook survival right now inside this regen. BT is going to run out any second now. He might actually make the fast. No, he doesn't. Definitely doesn't make that before the BT runs out. Florence is going to get the pickup onto Yobro, kill him, remove him from the trial, and potentially get another pop. It seems like he's going to be able to address this gen one more time here. But no, he's actually chainsawing over to 5. You see a pre-leave from the survivors, so that kind of tells me that they're not actually close to popping. So Florence should probably pop the gen at 7 instead, but he has decided not to. Maybe it is actually blocked. Maybe I don't understand this block thing, I'm not gonna lie. But Florence in the middle side of the map found a survivor returning to bot mid, but it's Nosy, which is a huge problem for him because he just can't down this guy. And I actually take that back. I guess he can. So Florence is slugging Nosy. Go to the 4 side of the map, we see blood and scratch marks. Florence returning back to 7. Sees scratch marks once again at Survivor trying to play for this gen, and they ran to the corner of the map. Nothing to use here, absolutely nothing. But the blocker and Hunter trying to go for a head-on. Florence gets the grab. M could either try and finish the gen right now, or could go for the pick on Nosy, which I think is the most likely play right now. But it seems Florence actually doesn't have a hook for Hunter, which means he's probably going to wiggle off here.
No, Hunter has been... Oh, wait, no, you're sorry, I know what you mean. Yeah, we just might be able to wiggle off. It's looking a little bit... Oh, wow! That was less than a second, and Hunter is able to get off. This is huge for the survivors. We're able actually to dodge the hook save here. Hunter stopping the trial from progressing. Really well done. Being able to go down just the right spot where Florence just can't get the hook, as this one has already been used. And we're going straight back here as well towards this 8 side of the map, as I do believe we see M here, who will be taking the chase back up towards mid, trying to dodge us down. Will likely be going down corner here. No, it looks like we're going to try and go down towards the south side of the map as we take it down here, and we are going to actually slug here. We're looking for both survivors doubling that gen.
Florence has hit a lot of rocks this game. He must have a lot of stone in his inventory right now, but unfortunately it's not going to help him that much throughout this match, as he needs to down survivors rather than build himself a cobblestone house. But yeah, he's getting the unhook, the pickup now into M, who forced Hunter. M actually was slugged over at that 7 side of the map, where if M actually crawls, she might be unhookable here, which could be really good and could lead into potentially a trauma tech here, or maybe a hatch play, something of the sort. I don't know. I just know that if she plays her cards correctly, she's essentially unhookable here, which could be very effective actually for Florence. It could even play into an exit gate play, but no, Nosy's just pushing the gens, and Florence is going to return and start chasing Nosy here. So it seems like this is going to be the last chase of the match, so hopefully something crazy. I want to see Nosy do some more juicing again, and hopefully he can outrun this Billy with absolutely no resources whatsoever.
Looks like we will be taking this final chase of Nosy, who will be going down relatively quickly. Not much you can do there. Only survivor left on the board, and it looks like we will be finishing, unless M is unhookable, but it does look like we will be finishing on a 4K1. Could we just give a spectator a quick look? Oh no, we don't need to worry about it. We found M straight away. So yeah, well played to Florence. They're able to hold on to a 4K1, although they weren't. It was a 3-gen. It's as you said, there just weren't any resources on the bottom side of the map, so no one could really have crazy chases unless they ran straight back to mid. So really, really well played by Florence there. Able to set a really respectable win on Billy. 4K1 is very, very solid as we look for Nosy finishing off the game. But we will be swapping after this, so we will actually be seeing Copium.
Wait, that's flip-flop tenacity. Hold up, that was fast. Hold up. Five wiggles and he's off. Does he make this?
Nah, he doesn't.
He does.
No way.
Wait, can we see the build real quick?
Yeah, spectator, can you quickly swap to Nosy? Oh, you're
He
right.
was! No. He must have been so close. He must have been 99. That's crazy. Oh man. Oh wow. Yeah. But look, I think really what they should have done. So the survivors from Copium did play their chases extraordinarily well, considering that they had no resources. But I think they needed to identify that Hunter couldn't be hooked at 7 because of that hook shallow 7 being broken. And I think they really need to play that and take that to their advantage, knowing that they can't pop one more gen anymore. I think they should have played for like a trauma tech. Because if you 99 someone a slug that was slugged in that corner of the map, and then pick them up, they can just work gens infinitely, have someone ready on hatch, and it's very unplayable for the killer. So I think if they were to just kind of back out of the situation a bit and think of that idea, that could have worked out quite well for them. But regardless, we're going to move to intermission and swap the teams around and see how Copium's Billy will do after a quick break.
Welcome back to game 2 of tonight, where we will be seeing CatJAM and Copium duke it out to see who can make it to the losers bracket round 2, and they will be versing Requiem next week. But regardless, we saw Florence set a really good win con 4K1 on Billy, which Yobro is going to have to try and meet here, who we will actually be seeing spawn on the 12 side instantly. Just going to break these resources and try and head down. He's going to need to have a pretty decent game to get the win for Copium here, so I'd love to see what Yobro can do. We did see Florence miss quite a few chainsaws last game, so it will be interesting to see how Yobro can capitalize on getting those quick chases and see if we can get those downs that we so desperately need early. And the most important thing here is trying to find a survivor, which we seem to be struggling to do. CatJAM stealthing quite well. They showed yesterday that they have a really strong early game presence, so it's no surprise here to see that he's actually taking a really long time to find someone, as they probably head up J2 and J1.
Yeah, he's kind of checking the edges of the map to make it difficult for the survivors to cross, but I think there is a possibility that a sneaky survivor could have slipped on by. That being said, I think most likely they're all just sitting at the bottom side, just stealthing that corrupt. Remember, first bump of the game, we're going to be seeing a few of these with this new Billy. Kind of just controlling his gens, trying to make sure, just to be safe, that the survivor hasn't crossed. Now, paradoxically, that is giving the survivors a very good chance to cross, as he has abandoned the mid side of the map. So, some sneaky survivors may have been able to sneak through that middle side of the map, but we're not entirely sure. Corrupt is very close to running out, so if I would catch him, I'd probably just kind of wait this out and see how we can play. We have a 4-gen bottom side that looks very nasty, so if Yobro kind of takes a page from the way that Florence played in that Billy game, I think an effective strategy could be to try and deplete all the resources on the bottom side and cycle between Pop Goes the Weasels and Scourge Hooks, which honestly, keep in mind, Florence played that entire game without using more than one Scourge Hook. So if Yobro has the same strategy, plays with a decent amount of chase, plays well in chase, and is able to play with this Pop Scourge strategy and depletes the pallets, I think he's got a really good chance of taking this 4K1 block.
Yeah, that's right. Now we're heading back down to... Oh, Seabass, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's because I didn't see anything. I was actually just messing with you. Yeah, you know, idiot. Wow. Anyway, back in. Yeah, got you, Seabass. Yeah, told you I'd get you. Anyway, back as we head up towards the top side, we're still looking for it. Left the VC for a second. As we head. Okay, look, we're just looking around the map for someone. We are just desperately trying to find someone. Dude, CatJAM have had a great early game. They literally just haven't been found. Corrupt, gone. And they will probably be on two sides of the map now, probably able to provide a lot of pressure as we see. Ooh, we actually see this gen has just started being working on, so we know someone's nearby, but we don't know exactly where they are, as I do believe that this was actually a corrupted gem. So if they were working on it, it was quite recent, as been very mobile. So yeah, no surprise we're going to be checking lockers here. It would be interesting to see if someone was in the locker, unless they had head on. But we do see a crow, actually. Looks like they possibly stealth towards Shaq as they're trying to get away.
That crow. I didn't seem that he really went after that crow. But he's going to the fire side of the map. This is an insane start from CatJAM. If they have their survivors positioned effectively, they can essentially 2-2 split across the entire map and start breaking both 3 gens, or one of them being the 4 gen. Yobro getting his power right now, moving towards this 7 side of the map. This is kind of scary if he locates the survivor here, but he can't. Seems. Oh, we see a shadow, and we see a mayonnaise, the CEO of DeadByOCE, and I will never stop saying that, which is funny because it's funny. So Yobro's committing now. Mayonnaise has his pallet, which is actually really, really hard for Billy to play and really overheat, because the turning rate is too low for you to be able to flick around it that well. The rock side at least. Different story with the other side. But now that he has no power, this is an insane pallet for Billy, so it completely changes the game. Mayonnaise making her way back to this window. Bamboozle should have run out by now, and she's just playing patiently around this window. Still has this other edge map filler. We see the first gen popping across the map. If that was a solo, oh, a skill check on 5. I'd be scared if I were Yoba right now. I think the gen pressure from CatJAM is insane.
Yeah, Mayonnaise really being able to play very, very well here with the resources that she's been given. If she can dodge one chainsaw, she might be able to get to that filler pallet, and she can. She's actually able to make it to another edge map filler pallet. We instantly drop it. We're just going to take that chase down back bottom, and we've also got another filler here. Mayonnaise is using quite a few resources, but she's able to have a really long and a strong chase here, playing very, very well. Ooh, as we take the M1 though through the pallet, hate to see that, but Mayonnaise is able to make it up to mid here. Might be able to have a very, very solid chase.
No.
Well, we don't get the stun, but we are able to make it all the way up top as well, as we see the second gen of the trial actually proc in the background. I believe that was bottom.
Yeah, Mayonnaise having an insane chase right now, using all of her resources, which is completely fine, because she's running the top side of the map, which no longer has the 3 gen, so not really that important. Keep the pallets up, she just needs to last as long as she can to allow her teammates to break that 3 gen that still exists on the bottom side. That 7 gen probably being hammered away right now as we speak. Mayonnaise going absolutely crazy with the lucky break. Yobro just cannot get his hands on her. Still trying to chase her down. She makes the edge of the map, so now no more resources left. She's going to take that down, but how many gens are we going to lose for this chase? I think it depends really on the Scourge Hook RNG. If Yobro gets an immediate Scourge Hook, he might be able to chainsaw down to the bottom side of the map and keep his 3 gen intact.
Yeah, no, you put forward a really good point, but we do see it is a Scourge Hook, and here we've also got access to Pop as well. But I'm sure that the survivors, all 3 of them, have probably been working pretty heavily on those gens as well, so it won't be a surprise to see another one actually pop, or it's still being worked on in the background. Looks like we do find... Ooh, wow, this gen was pumping away. This was probably a Scourge Hook gen, I would say, because it would have been about 5 before it was Scourge, so really well played by the survivors. Able to keep up this pressure, but we found another one sitting at about 30, and that's the 3rd gen of the trial procced as well up the top side. The survivors are just crushing these gens right now.
I just want to say real quick, Starzee, huge mistake from CatJAM. I'm not sure why they're splitting those 2 bottom gens. They would have had one of those completed, without a doubt, for Mayonnaise's chase, which breaks the bottom 3 gen and puts Yobro in a 2-2 position. But since they've been splitting them, they haven't popped either, which means that if he gets this down onto Fizz, and that translates into a Scourge Hook, he can hold these bottom gens. He can actually hook Fizz inside those bottom gens as well, which could be very, very, very scary for CatJAM. But he's choosing to hook top? No, so he's going for a pain res. Seems like he's going for that shallow 6 hook right next to Shaq. Ideally, this is a Scourge Hook. Maybe she would be off with a hit here, but no survivor seems to be ready. You hear the progress on Shaq is quite high. It doesn't get Scourged, so no pain res there actually. But Yobro's going to use his pop, defend that Shaq gen. Might actually go over to check the 7 gen as well. Could still hold this 3 gen intact, but it's going to be very difficult. I think Yobro is in a more challenging position than what we saw from Florence in the previous game. Getting the chainsaw break onto the pallet. Shaq continuing to commit to legging. He doesn't have any pallets anymore. Getting a chainsaw, downing him very close to Fizz. This is worth picking if he has a pain res, because he wants to kind of hold this 3 gen intact. And we do see a pain res, which is going to be hitting the Shaq gen, allowing him to pop that gen 7. And now this 3 gen has lost all of its progression, but chainsawing to now try and catch Fizz and go for the tunnel.
Yeah, really well played by Yobro here, being able to turn this game around from looking very, very dicey to I would say a respectable chance for a 4K one here as we actually decide to check this 7 gen. Looks like we do see it sitting at about 4. We've still got access to pop. We're going to be hooking Fizz again, so we will have access to pop once again after that as well. We're going to have a lot of pressure after this, and Fizz will also be second hook, so we do have a possible tunnel out there as we actually find Leggy, our injured survivor, injured aider, will be insta-dropping this pallet, keeps him alive for just a little bit. We've also got access to this J2 pallet here as we get the death. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad.
Leggy trying to get the stun. Yobro returning to the shack now with that slug. Can't manage to locate a survivor just yet. He might opt to just hook Leggy, but he's going to check the 7 side of the map first. We see scratch marks. A survivor not able to make the top. That is Peps, our Quinton Smith player himself. Unfortunately, Quinton Smith does not look like a goblin anymore. So, in my opinion, he is a terrible survivor and is not worth playing. So I'm going to judge Peps for that. But he's abandoning, going back to the mid side of the map, trying to catch more survivors off guard. But the pickup now coming in onto Leggy, who's made his way pretty much to the top, if I'm seeing that correctly. Yeah, he's escaped the grasp of Yobro. He might have been able to make that window, probably not actually. But he's going to take the down, and this could be a fresh hook on the top side from Yobro. Still, Yobro is in a really tough position. He needs to 4K1. Can't let survivors pop a single gen, and he doesn't actually get a pain res there. So what I really want to point out is he's eventually going to lose his pain reses, which is going to make this hard if the survivors keep applying pressure to these gens effectively.
No, that's absolutely true. I guess it is. I do agree with you earlier in the trial when you said it was a bad idea for them to double these, do these gens differently, because they would have already had one done. That 3 gen would have been avoided. Probably would have actually been at 0 gens here, but still looks like we are fighting for a desperate 4K1 here from Yobro, looking for that tie on Hillbilly set. It'll be interesting to see as Peps is able to make it back towards mid. Is probably going to get away from this one. Yes, he is. Oh wow, we're actually opting to chase this as well. Unable to get Peps the down here. It looks like we might want to be heading back to bottom soon as, yeah, he's just able to make it all the way to top. Fizz gets the reset, and we are opting to go back bottom. Yeah, you don't want to chase this. He's just made it too far to the top side to be a confident chase to commit to.
Yeah, really good chase for Peps, and a light from Mayonnaise, which allows her to just make mid for free. Yobro committing still to Mayonnaise, catches her kind of off guard, but she might be able to get this vault. She does actually. Yobro missing the chainsaw, Mayonnaise making the long wall window, and Yobro is going to choose to just return to his gens. We see some scratch marks, and a survivor is playing the bus, still has the window up, which makes it very strong, even without a pallet. So Yobro has to boozle that. Leggy is kind of just running to try and make mid once again. He has to duke out this chainsaw, which won't be too hard considering that it is not in blue mode, but wow! Actually a crazy flick there from Yobro, who's going to hook Leggy. Now inside the 3, I think Leggy still has a pain res left. So if this is a Scourge hook, he could be holding his 3 gen purely from this hook. And no Scourge hook, but that is a death blow onto Leggy. Maybe we already saw it on Leggy, I can't quite remember.
And there have been 3 people that have been hooked, which are Fizz, Mayonnaise, and Hillbilly. So, oh wow, we see the last gen of the trial propping. That is going to be the win for CJ. I was not expecting that to happen that fast, especially as we had pop ready as well. So really well played by the CJ survivors, able to pop that last gen, and we'll be getting a few outs here as Mayonnaise probably takes the final chase of the game all the way back to Shack here. Yep, exactly. We're just going to be utilizing the Shack window if we possibly can, as we'll try and get an outplay here from Yobro, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like we are going to be going down basement here, just buying time for the other survivors to get the gates done.
Whoa, what am I watching? Hold up, I want to see this juke out. Come on. Nah, never mind. Unlucky. But yeah, like you said, the win con has now been met. Fizz and Peps are going to be escaping the trial. One of them is fresh. I think Fizz is fresh. Sorry, Peps is fresh. Fizz has been 1 hooked. So it's going to be a 7-stage result. It's really fresh from Yobro. I don't think that's a terrible result, to be honest, but obviously when you're contending with a 4K1, which realistically should never happen on this killer, despite the fact that he has been buffed and he is a lot stronger now. Yobro did hold his ground this game. I think he might have been hurt by a bad Scourge hooks as well. It's really hard to say because with the spectator you can't see exactly where they are, but it seemed like some of his hook locations were not ideal at all. For example, that hook at 6, if that was a Scourge hook, he got onto Fizz there, and then the down he had on Leggy, that would have been a double huge Scourge right there, and it would have been set. But yeah, that not being a Scourge hook kind of made that a weaker position, and the fact that they saved Fizz while he went to pick up Leggy, I think that was where he could have snowballed. But regardless, first set going to CatJAM. They have chosen this killer, so it is more expected for them to win the set. So we're now going to move towards intermission, and afterwards we will be seeing, I think, what was our second killer? Was it Oni?
It is Blight.
Blight. Okay, after a quick break. Alrighty, welcome in, folks. We're going to be seeing some Blight action. I'm excited to see Florence's Blight once again, as we saw him the other night. But first, we're going to be seeing Green Dean on the Blight, who has chosen this killer. Green Dean's been playing this killer for a very, very long time. Since my very first tournament, I remember we had Green Dean on the Blight, and the man was not very happy to play Blight, I'll tell you that. But since then, this guy has gotten buffed up. He is ready with the cane. He has Fire Up as one of his perks, which I can kind of understand, as it kind of makes up for Brutal Smash Hit from Mayonnaise. Love to see it. Also Spies from the Shadows, which is a very interesting pick. I don't actually dislike this build, even though it is very unusual. I can see the logic behind it. I can see how it works. Green now mind gaming. Mayonnaise might actually get the tag if he rushes right now.
We see a really nice stun there by Mayonnaise, but we take the hit, so that's significantly worse. So the stun wasn't really that nice, was it? As we basically get 2-tapped on the ground there, we will be taking the down. And that was a really respectable first chase by Green Dean, being able to get a very quick down. And now we've got access to Pop Goes the Weasel as well. This could spell a very, very strong game for Green Dean here, actually. This was a very, very respectable start.
Yeah, and I think he has kind of decent gens, even though they are fairly spread out for a 3-gen. He's now hovering around this left side of the map, wants to get some pressure, doesn't want to just allow the survivors to work gens without being stopped there. But almost a tag on Peps does actually manage to get the tag, and he can probably pop this 9-gen if he so chooses, even though the progress is very low. Save now coming in onto Mayonnaise. There's a few tricks CatJAM could pull if they want to get Mayonnaise away. They could FTP her. They could potentially, with a Lucky Breaker, will make it is the third option I was going to say, and she might actually be able to stealth given how quick she was reset. We see Leggy running out, trying to get aggro. Mayonnaise has probably escaped. That was a bad idea, I think, from Green. I don't think he could have gotten that flick around. That being said, I think maybe like if he fatigued there, and like zoned Leggy away from May, but he is deciding to commit, which is very bold of him, considering that Leggy is fresh and running towards the bottom side of the map. But considering he lost Mayonnaise, he might not have another choice. But chasing Peps here could actually be a good idea, considering he's a little bit out of position.
Sorry, Seabass, I think your mic's glitching. Can you talk again?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you again. Got you twice, Seabass. Better be careful. Yeah, that's what you get. Seabass was talking crap about me in the break, and you can PC again. Anyway, back to the game. So, welcome back, Seabass. Back to the game. We see Leggy did actually end up taking an injure there, but is playing quite well as Shaq here. Green Dean will be taking the fatigue there and trying to run the chase up topside. Leggy playing very, very well here, is able to drag out the chase. Green Dean taking a little bit of effort to really get the down here on Leggy. Going to be extremely important as we see the second gen, the trial proc in the background. Leggy at this TNL is doing extremely, extremely well. Ooh, looks like we do make this elbow. Yeah, Green Dean, there was no way you're making that swing, buddy. Sorry about that. But we do see Leggy is able to make it to the north side of this 4-wall. Is going to have the cover twist advantage. Does he make it? Yes, he does. Gets broken instantly, but really well played by Leggy to really drag the chase out this long. This is a really influential chase.
Yeah, and while this chase is going on, for our viewers' engagement, I'd like to read out a message that Starzee has recently sent to me.
Hold on.
Yeah, but instead of reading that, back to the game. Green could be hooking Leggy this bottom end hook. This is the second hook of the trial. I think he's still in a bit of a weak position. The survivors probably have a lot of pressure. Unfortunately, sliding on the tree collision can be a little bit nasty sometimes on Macmillan. Green Dean going to be committing to rush to this 11 gen. I don't think he does make the tree. Choosing to go back, he didn't view that gen as being progressed enough, so he's going to pop 9 instead. Leggy getting a clean pull. This puts Green in a really tough position. It's hard for him to tunnel. because Leggy has a lot of distance and he's going to run away from the gens. But, actually catching Peps out of position is such a blessing right now, considering that he's a fresh hook and he's going to get Green Dean a lot of points. You know, in this position as an S-tier killer where you've had a bad start, it's really difficult because the S-tier killers are supposed to play for a tunnel. And if you get the tunnel too late, you end up getting 3-staged, which we don't want to happen for Green Dean's sake. So I think the next best thing is to go for fresh hooks. And that's what we're going to be seeing with the chase on Peps. Peps going down on a pallet. Hopefully no survivors nearby it, so Green Dean doesn't get a little slap in the face. But no, he gets the hook now onto Peps. This could translate onto another pop. And the reset meaning Green Dean could generate some pressure from this as well.
Yeah, well played by Green Dean. That second chase from Leggy really cost so much time in terms of the game. It was a very big struggle trying to get the down there onto Leggy, so being able to have a respectable chase onto Peps really kicks us into overdrive here. Seeing the insta unhook onto Peps, actually, we are going to get a top value on this gem that's sitting at about 95. It looks very close to being completed, and it looks like we do... Who did we actually find here? Because I can't see anyone. They did head down the south side of the map here, but it seems like they've just completely done a disappearing act on us, and we're just heading back to this gen here. Possibly, maybe are they hiding in this little thing to the left here? Nope, we just decided not to check it. Fair enough, would be time consuming, so we decided to head back down to this shack gen, seeing if we can find the survivor, possibly just a little bit out of position, enough for us to get out of here. We actually go around the long shack side, but we still... Oh no, we finally find scratch marks. We do find Peps, who is at shack here trying to complete this gen. CatJAM playing extremely well here, being able to keep up a lot of gen pressure as we find Peps. I do believe that this pallet is broken, so we'll be getting a free hit here. If we can get the hit, then go straight into our M2. This will be very powerful.
The one thing that's actually been brought to my attention by one of our staff members, Monk, is that the pallet saves could be a lot more difficult to perform with fire up in play, especially since the survivors probably don't know about it just yet. And it's going to change the timing of the pickups a little bit, making both pallet saves and flashlight saves a lot more difficult. Right now, Pep's playing absolutely crazy, just juicing him on a window with no pallet. We saw that gen at 9 be completed. So what that means, only one gen remaining, and Peps, of course, is already been hooked. So if Green Dean does get this down and the rest of the survivors escape, there's going to be a 5-stage, which is not what you want on a kill like the Blight. Green Dean's going to be returning to this 9 gen to try and stop it from being completed, and we see he doesn't actually have much progress. He's picked the wrong gen, which is really unfortunate. What he needs right now is he needs to find HTG, which is that last fresh hook that will grant him a 6-stage 4 fresh result, which is somewhat beatable. The gen at 1 now has been completed. He's in a difficult position. He has very split exit gates. So even if he does find HTG, the survivors from CatJAM might be able to try and help him escape. But that being said, I think Age is just going to stealth this out right now.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely the right call as well, especially as we find Mayonnaise, who is first hook here, so will grant us the 5-stage here, which, as you said, is really not what you want. I mean, a 6-stage really isn't what you want here, but looks like we opt to go look at the other gate. We see that neither of them have actually been started here, but we do see spies from the shadows. I'm not sure who that was. It was either Peps or Age, but, okay, yeah, Peps, probably not the one we want to be chasing here, but we are just continuing to offer the chase on Mayonnaise. So as you said, Age really should be stealthing here. No point giving away 3 hook sets. Looks like we've seen someone. We're going to go for the chase here. The gate around 30%. Looks like we find Peps here. Wow, we will be getting the hit there. He was waiting at the window, actually took the hit through it. Not what you want to see. And Peps looks like he's heading up to the top side as we see the gen in the background getting worked on and getting a little bit indecisive. We actually find Leggy here as well. Yeah, this is Leggy.
I thought that was Age, I'm not gonna lie. I got a bit scared for a second.
So we will be getting... Oh no, we missed the tree. Oh, Green Dean.
Yeah, this is getting tense. We see the 9 gate is definitely prepared. The amount of time this has taken, Green Dean cannot get Peps anymore because he's made his way, and I think this is going to be a 3-stage result. There's absolutely no possibility he can get Leggy. I'd assume HTV might be setting up a hatch right now, as I don't see him in the gate, which means he's going to be out in a second as well. Or unless he's actually waiting at that gate at 1. Which, if that were the case, that means Green Dean probably could have had a chance getting him there. But he's going to hatch. Nothing. Oh, we see Age. Oh, could you imagine if Green Dean landed on the hatch there? Like swung on the hatch and blocked it? That would have been insane.
Huge. That would have been massive. But sadly, that is not what we saw. And honestly, if you told me at the start of the game that Green Dean was going to get a 3-stage, I would have been very surprised, because that first chase onto Mayo was relatively quick. It was a very, very solid chase. So it was really interesting to see the CatJAM survivors just lock in. And yeah, they did extremely, extremely well after that first chase. Leggy, that second chase, that was powerful. That was a very, very strong display with only that lower part of the map. Really well played.
Look, I think what it really came down to is Green Dean did too many 5 rushes that didn't result in him getting a hit. So I think a little bit more walking and a bit more patience was needed on his behalf. Rushing kind of in the blue like that without knowing exactly where the survivor is can be very risky with Blight. And the fact that he was doing, like, perfect example on Peps at 5 on that Orbital, rushing with no information, not knowing what Peps is going to do, and just wasting all 5 rushes and not getting a hit after that. You just lose a lot of pressure by doing that. So I think that's what led to his downfall there. But now we're going to move to intermission, and we're going to see if our Blight from CatJAM, which is going to be Florence, is going to be able to compete with this 3-stage result.
Welcome back, everyone, to what is most likely looking the final game of the CatJAM vs Copium set, where we actually just saw Green Dean on the Blight walk out with a 3-stage, 3 fresh. So not exactly what you're looking for, but we are going to see CatJAM going to try and have to secure a 4-stage game for fresh, or 4-stage 3 fresh. So we'll have to see what they can work with here. But yeah, for the CatJAM killer here, it's going to be relatively easy to meet this win con. Sadly, Green Dean just didn't have the strongest game. Had a really respectable start at the early game section of the game, but just wasn't able to really convert it into good following up chases. Leggy had a really good chase during the mid game. So really well played by the CatJAM survivors there, being able to play extremely, extremely well. And yeah, we're just going to have to see the Blight on CJ just have a respectable game.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I really like to see Florence on the Blight. Loading in right now, we see 2 P100 survivors. So hopefully those are going to be the gamers that juice so many P100 players. You guys need to go outside a little bit, but I can't really talk. But Florence has landed, and what an insane build. Is this a meme or is this actually real? I can't tell. To be honest, he does have a 4-stage win con, so I can understand. But he is running save the best for last on the Blight. Can we get thoughts on that, Starzee? What do we think?
Honestly, I think it's absolutely fine. I believe that Save the Best for Last actually works on secondary. Oh wait, no, sorry, it doesn't. We do see Nosy go down.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry. I thought there was a change for some reason. My mistake. So we do see Nosy take a very quick down here. Look, honestly, although we probably will be seeing M1s from Florence yesterday, he played really well against Inception, being able to have a really strong game. So we probably will be seeing a few walkdowns, a few M1s. And if it's able to save him just a tiny bit of time, it will give him value, because he only needs 4 hook states here, really. So it looks like we actually will be going straight for Nosy here. We'll be going for the 360. He is able to sidestep Florence, keep the chase going for a little bit longer. But now that our shield of borrowed time is gone, we are going to head towards the top side. Probably going to be able to make this. It's going to be close. We are going to drop down. We'll be keeping the chase going. Really well played there. And we're just going to try and have the strongest chase possible, as our win con is very, very difficult for the survivors right now.
Yeah, Nosy does not last very long. Going to be taking that down. 1 stack of Save the Best for Last. I wonder if Florence is actually going to get value out of this perk. Obviously, Blood Favor is an interesting perk, and you can see the justification behind running it, but that has been cleansed right off the bat. CatJAM on top of that. Sorry, not CatJAM, Copium. One of the interesting things, we're seeing Smoky Hellfire, and I believe this might actually be his debut into DeadByOCE, or was he playing previously? I don't remember. I know he's been around for a little bit, but I'm not sure if I've seen him in a tournament game yet. Definitely not on Copium, not for a while. But regardless, I want to see how he performs. Hunter now getting in chase at the main building. This is for sure the most dangerous thing about Ironworks of Misery for Blight. This main building, when you go upstairs, it's just such a massive time waster. We see the unhook now coming in onto Nosy. Florence returning to try and go for the tunnel. A little body block from Yobo to try and help Nosy make it towards the bottom side of the map. And if he has that pallet at the Godfiller right there, that could be quite huge. I didn't actually see if he has it or not. Florence is still committing, going to be getting that kick now onto the God Filler. I think Nosey barely makes this Ormentile pallet, which could be kind of scary, but Florence doing some jukey stuff with the Blight and getting the down. The fact that he landed that is actually very impressive. So now Nosey is going to be hooked on the bottom side of the map, and it seems that's the death. Yeah, so death of 4 gens, quite good. And I definitely think Florence is on their way to beating that win condition that was set previously, the 3 stages.
Yeah, absolutely. A death of 4 gens it's turning into a 4K1 here, and that's probably one of the best results that the survivors are actually going to be able to pick up. Getting out here is going to be extremely difficult with having a death this early in the game. Really well played by Florence to just keep up the pressure on Nosey and really have strong bases on the early game here, as we actually get pop value and out to save the best for last stacks. He will be running onto this top side, trying to see if we can catch Hunter off guard, but no, he is able to get away from this one, but only for a second as he does take the hit here. We are going to try and zoom away upstairs. We can use this as the wall has not been broken here, so we will get some strong value out of this, and we're going to get a little bit more chase time, but Hunter only has... Well, Hunter's in a really difficult situation here, because if he goes down, I do believe that this is the win corner, it's the tie, so it's just becoming extremely difficult to know what to do here. Is this is the 4th hook of the trial.
Oh, was that some W and S-ing? No, I'm joking. That obviously wasn't. Florence was just trying to pick up Hunter. But now we're going to be seeing the hook over at 12, very close to that main building gen that has quite a bit of progress. Hunter now getting hooked. Florence is making their way towards main, going to pop that main gen. Still only 2 stacks of Save the Best, which is making me kind of sad. I want to see that perk get some value. Because it's such an insane perk to run with Killer Quiet. I really respect it. Almost getting the tag onto Smoky Hellfire, but Smoky makes the pallet, and unfortunately Florence does not get the tag out of that. I think Florence is going to abandon, and we see the gen popping on the bottom side of the map. That's Yobro Hearts, DeadByOCE. Should we give him some extra points for that? Let's have a more discussion after the game, and we'll return to you with our decision. But Florence now returning to the hook. We see Smoky almost went in for the save there, but now she's trying to avoid the tag around that rock, actually opting to not go for the save onto Hunter, which is a clever play. You don't want a 1-for-1 in that position. But we see the problem right now is Yobro is also here, so Florence has no reason to leave the hook.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right, because once Hunter... Well, actually, no, they've already met the win con. Apologies. We have the 1-point lead from Florence here at the end of the game. But honestly, we can just keep them going. It really doesn't matter, because there's still 2 gens left, and we are going to take this chase onto Hunter here. We need to M1. We can. That's absolutely fine, as that's exactly what we take. We take the M1. Hunter making a lot of distance here, but all we're looking for is the down, just to continue the immense pressure we've had this game, as 2 gens still remain up in the trial. We are going to try and use this Z here. Hunter instantly dropping it, has good vision here. Probably going to have to run back to top side where there aren't too many resources, so I don't think this chase is going to last much longer as we try to run him around these crates, but not too much value. We're going to get there, and we do get a couple of nodders from Florence. Really well done, and Hunter will be reaching that 2nd hook, and this will be the 5th hook state of the game. Florence just having such a strong showing, especially after yesterday.
Yeah, so now breaking that door on main, gonna get the pop goes the Weasel. The main gen pretty much 99 here, which is very unfortunate for our survivors from Copium. And yeah, the win condition already being met. That's the victory, of course, for CatJAM. It means Copium is unfortunately eliminated. However, hopefully they can still pull out a good result. And Yobro is now being chased, doesn't have a whole lot at his disposal. Might actually make this Ormentile pallet. Yeah, barely makes the pallet, and Florence has finally obtain some rushes, and now we see the unhook coming out onto Hunter. Florence is going to use their power to get it down on the dropped filler. Yobro making that window, and Florence still being patient and gaining a bit of bloodlust, choosing not to use their rushes right now. Yobro dropping, still making the vault. A Blight at bloodlust too is kind of crazy. I think what Florence wanted was to gain some Save the Best for last stacks, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. 5 stacks. Let's see if we can make it to 8 here.
Yeah, really well played by Florence there, being able to get that down. That was a strong chase by Yobro, actually. He played very well, being able to win a couple of those 50-50s there. Very strong game style. But we do see the pop will come in onto this mid-gen as we hear that crackle, and we possibly thinking someone had topside. Hunter and Smokey both fully reset. Hunter on Deathhook, Smokey fresh. So if we're able to find Hunter here, we're in a very, very strong situation. Turn the game into a 2v1, makes it that much more immensely difficult for the survivors to really make a play. But as it is, we do see the unhook come in onto Yobro, and we actually saw Hunter there. I think this is exactly who we want to chase here. Get Hunter out of the game, force that 2v1. We are going to see balanced here, and it looks like we'll be getting the hit as well. That's twice. Yes, that's twice that he's been hit through that. Really well played by Florence.
Oh, the bump logic. Wow. Nice cheeky little down there onto Hunter. Gonna get that hook. I don't remember how many stages Hunter has, to be honest. I've kind of lost track. Definitely not death hook, I don't think.
No, he is. He's
Oh, he is. Okay, because that's the second death of the trial. We still have our 3-gen on the top left side of the map. Florence is now rushing over to 11, messes up a rush, but I don't know if that's going to be enough for the survivors to pop. We see a crow and survivors pre-leaving this 11-gen, so they did have enough time to complete it. Actually, not even the last pistol. Yeah, actually pretty close. But now Florence is going to try and locate that survivor who pre-left the gen. I think it was Smoky Hellfire, but I'm not 100%. Yeah, it was. And Yobro now in the main building. So Yobro has to run long enough for Smoky to pop that gen if they want to get a 4K1 result. But it's going to seem very difficult. But a nice little juice from Yobro dropping down as Florence was prepared to go for that rush up the top. Florence now dropping down, following Yobro. Yobro is going to make his way back to the top with this pallet that still hasn't been kicked yet. And Florence going to use some bump logic around the loop. I'm not sure exactly where Yobro went. Still juking it out. Might be enough time for Smokey to pop that gen over 11.
This is extremely well played by Yobro, being able to drag that chase out just a tiny bit longer, although it's a 2v1. We're just kind of going for flex chases here, let's be honest. We're trying to go for the most fun result possible. Yobro will end up taking the down here, does get the fast vault, but not going to get us past that window, as we are going to see the hook come in onto Yobro. Man, this is just, it was really such a strong showing by Florence and the CatJAM survivors. Both sides played extremely well, as we actually see the 4th gen of the trial procking in the background. Smoky Hellfire was able to get this 11 gen done, and oh no, he's running to a place where there's just all the resources are used.
I guess Florence is ready for that little hatch play. They don't want to let Smoky make his way in. If Smoky gets hit here, he definitely gets that distance, and Yobro just lets go that second they can get the hatch. So Florence playing very safely, making sure that Smoky doesn't get the hatch. Even though the win con obviously is met at this point, so we're just going to wait it out. Hopefully Yobro misses some skill checks so we can speed this up a little bit. We see Smoky actually going to the top side of the map, might actually get the unhook on Yobro, so it seems like Copium is back in the game and they're in it to try and go potentially for a 4K0 here. I don't see any more scratch marks. Maybe that means Smoky went back to... No, he actually does go in. Okay.
Yeah, looks like he actually wants to be unhooked out from there just to have the chase go on a little bit longer, wants to have a little bit more fun chases, as they both complain like, oh, Yobro, no! Oh, Yobro!
Oh, the 8 stacks! Let's go, this is what we've all been waiting for, and whack! And the rush. Yeah, let's go.
Same you would know the trees!
Oh. Unfortunately. But to be fair, I wouldn't be able to down Smoky Hellfire either. I think that's too much of a challenge. So we've actually lost Smokey. I'm not sure where he is. It's completely disappeared.
Yeah, he is injured, so we should have been able to hear him, but he's just, yeah, completely disappeared. Probably done a runner to mid. Yeah, I was about to say, done a runner to mid. Looks like we have found him there. Do believe there are still some resources down this side of the map. E.g., we do have this filler here. We'll try and play this out. We are going to go for a rush down here. We've already used 2. Oh, really close by Florence there. Trying to show off what he can do just to finish off this Blight set. Really well played. And we are going to try and get the down again with our rushes. I do believe that this is still up. Yeah, just going to break this instantly. Going for the 1v1 here onto Smokey. Trying to get the down. We missed the tree, man. We have had that a lot recently where, pretty much every Blight in the past few days is really struggling with these trees. The bump logic is just awful.
Yeah, look, I am confident in my man Smoky Hellfire in being able to run the killer for 2.5 minutes until hatch opens and then escape the trial. Actually, I think I take that back. I think unless Florence did a little miss there, no. Smoky is getting down. So yeah, 4K1, very commendable result on the Blight on the Ironworks. Definitely, in my opinion, not a 4K map. Definitely still high stages, because obviously Blight is ST, but not really a 4K map like what we saw previously with, what was Blight on last? I don't even remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I could not tell you.
Blight has been on a lot of different maps recently. I think it was Macmillan, but I don't remember which one. Oh, actually, Gas Heaven recently. But yeah,
Yeah,
Anyway,
I don't know, bro. I really don't know.
that's going to be the 2-0 for CatJAM, and they're going to be progressing through the bracket. They will be playing against one of these other teams. I don't remember which one. We have to
We're
check on
playing
the
against
channel.
Requiem next week for the loose bracket round 2. Yeah, so they were actually able to pull the win over Inferno yesterday. So yeah, really well played by Requiem, and really well played by CatJAM here as well.
Yeah, and of course, that's going to be it from me and Starzee for tonight. We're going to move to an intermission, and we'll be seeing Deception and Ruthless Raccoons battle it out. Following that, we'll be seeing Inertia versus JDuck. So 2 more teams will be eliminated tonight. It's anyone's guess who that could be. We have some strong matchups to go here. So yeah, we're going to move to intermission, unless you have any concluding words, Starzee.
No, just really well played by CatJAM yesterday. They had a really good showing against Inception, and really well played by them today, being able to pull out the win against Copium. If you look at the tipping, most people were relatively sure of a CatJAM win, and they were able to pull it out. So really, really well done to them as we move on into the next set. But as always, that will be the end for us.